How's it going, Aries community? Now you know who it is. It's Soul Tigress with a special story for who this wonderful frequency. That's who. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time, your patience as I navigate this story between the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful, and everything in between. Now, remember that this is a safe and sacred space where we call in the ancestors, angels, guides, as well as divine and universal energy to come in and be the protectors for all the positive messages here. Now, don't forget, and anybody who's checking this out, just know this isn't love tarot. This channel is geared for self-empowerment. That means building these stepping stones for us getting more aligned with our soul being, which helps connect us to a higher power. So let's go ahead and talk about the vibe for Aries. Now, first things first, Aries, it starts off by saying, let's be brutally honest. Communicating what you want is important too. Accepting what needs to come next in your book of life. Never too old to take a fool's journey. And I repeat, you're never too old to take a fool's journey. Be responsible though, okay? This could be creating a healthier habits for yourself with yourself. Yes, increasing movement is always needed, but it's also important to know when to rest. Rest is just as important as movement is. Don't forget that. As well as what you are projecting into the world. Now, this is very interesting. A lot of times we don't know by what we project into the world is what we also get back. So the things that we project, whether it's love, hate, compassion, anger, we will be met back with that energy. So what do you want to be met back with, Aries, in this story? What do you want to project into this world? Tapping into your inner child to create an outlet for what? For fun again. Now, are you just having fun as an adult? Because adults only know how to have fun to a certain level. When you bring that inner child out, you're able to let yourself fully immerse yourself into the fun. You're not worried about who's criticizing you, who's watching you, or who's judging you. You are free to go have fun and play without that kind of worry. Let's see, what else do we have? What you have been searching for or wishing for, maybe, just maybe, it will become more clearer. And how you, Aries, in this story can move towards it. What do you mean move towards it? I thought I wanted it to move towards me. No. That's you standing with your hand out in life, expecting life to sit here and give you something. Nope. It don't work like that, boo-boos. Remember, we got to work for it. And Aries are driven. They're strong. They can do it. Aries frequency is a very amazing frequency. Very independently driven as well. Aries, this honesty with yourself, you gotta untie that tongue. Whoever it is, whatever it is that we need to communicate with, and I feel like it's with ourselves. Being brutally honest. Alright, so let's go ahead and start the introduction. I got the Cosmic Belief Oracle here. So this is going to be a little bit different. Angels, ancestors, what is it? What is it that needs to come out for the introduction? Two things right away we're not seeing. Confession. Someone has to tell you something. Or is it something that you gotta tell someone? Could it be yourself? Confessing what you want. What you really, really want. We have Mercury retrograde. Holy moly. I told you, like it feels like my tongue is swollen and it feels like my tongue is tied right now. And what happens with Mercury retrograde for myself is I cannot communicate. Mercury retrogrades makes it hard for a lot of people to communicate. Mercury, it talks about how we think and how we communicate. So there's something here that has to do with how you think and how you're communicating. A lot of times I bring it back to self. Why? Because I'm here for everyone, for that individual. I'm not here to worry about who's or what's happening outside of you too much. What we do here is we help set up ways that you can navigate the outside stuff. But again, it comes from within here. What's being projected. A lot of people say, well, it could happen since the Mercury retrograde, which was in December, I believe. But I feel like it's just the way that we're thinking and communicating, to be with ourselves or with another. So let's see what we have here. Caution. Find out more information. Don't overwork yourself. Remember what we're talking about in the vibe. I have date night in reverse. Something's not working out with intimate connections that we really want. Somehow what I'm hearing is there's some kind of sabotaging. Maybe Aries is feeling like that's happening. These intimate connections don't have to be with people that we date. This is just, to me, saying that we can't come together and break bread with others. Others who we really want to be close with. Maybe an ideal community, an ideal workplace. Maybe some kind of ideal structure in our family environment. Could it have to do with a relationship? Could we have an Aries here who doesn't feel like they're thinking or communicating well with their partner? What do you mean not thinking? Well, if we're stressed out and our partner's miscommunicating with us, then we're not going to think the greatest of them, right? That could be partner, a person, place, or thing. They'll be back, but this is in reverse. They'll be back. Somebody needs to close the door to something. I have love spell. You've been bewitched. Ooh-wee. So somebody here fell in love with the potential of what something could be. I'm getting this could be a person, place, or thing, because we can love or fall in love with the potential of our ideal employers that we become employed with recently or have been employed with recently. And then we face changes, we face miscommunication, and stuff starts to fall to the wayside. And all of a sudden, this whole love spell that we were under that was helping intrigue us has us now overthinking, overworking, and upset that we aren't having what we thought should be there. We're not having people breaking down our doors to show us how important we are to them, in a sense. Let's go ahead and dive into the present. Ooh, what is this coming out? Like I said, I don't do love tarot, but I can't help what comes out. Love spell, love spell, love spell. I will say this, if we have some of our young friends watching here, I just realized this. There's a whole community, I guess, on the TikToks that is all about doing this new age love spell stuff. But you know what? A love spell only works on a person who is spiritually weak. Ooh, you can't touch people who are spiritually strong in the light. You can touch people who are spiritually strong in the dark, but not the light. So with that being said, just take that into mind. One of the best things you could do is increase your spiritual strength. Let's go ahead and dive into the present. Alright, two things coming out that we are not seeing. We have a Four of Cups and a King of Wands. So we're dealing with an energy. Like I said, we were hoping that there was some kind of better outcome that was going to happen with this. We were hoping that they would have had our backs, would have came back around, realized what they were losing, realized what was slipping out of their hands. Again, person, place, or thing. And now we're stuck with this Four of Cups trying to figure out, how do we take care of ourselves? How do we take care of our home? How do we take care of our vehicle payment? How do we take care of our necessities kind of thing here? How do we take care of ourselves after something is not turning out the way that we really wanted it to be? What else needs to come out for the present? I have the Sun here. Under caution. And they'll be back. Sun, soul of self. Let's talk about this Leo energy. It talks about where we could put a lot of our potential at, but it also talks about, what is it? Where we can express the best kind of leadership for that area in life. And right now, I want to focus on the leadership here with the Sun card, because we have this caution. And remember, don't overwork yourself. Knowing when to move and knowing when to rest. Is it time for you to keep working on this, or is it time for you to let the situation be laid to rest? When you do that, then you can let other things come forward. You also make time for things start to move forward and to process. What I'm hearing is you allow time for things to age out. And by aging out, I'm not talking about a person's particular age. What I mean is, not everything ages like wine or like cheese, I want to say, or kimchi. Things that you want to sit there and let sit for a long time and it gets better. With this, sometimes you don't have that. Things just get more sour and more sour and more sour. But we fight to hold on to things. We fight because we care. Why do you care about this thing in particular? We do have the love goggles on here. So there could have been a vulnerability that's attached to this situation that Aries was dealing with. We have a Page of Coins. Not getting the offering they wanted from whoever this King of Wands was. This King of Wands could have been a business person directly. Or this is just somebody who's really business oriented, I'm getting. Usually wands, you're getting more into nature and stuff. But I have this dragon who's really overseeing this picture here of things that are going on. That's where I'm getting this business sense here. Maybe whatever it was really, really good looking. Really good looking on the outside. It sat there, it had all the sparkle, the charm, the glitz, the glamour. But in return, it gives you nothing back. What else needs to come out? Now we have the Four of Wands. Yeah, we were trying to build with this. Trying to build a stable foundation. Maybe a place where we could put a lot of our creativity. A place where we could fulfill our purpose in a sense. A place where we felt like we were guided to. Maybe a person that we were guided to, or what was guided into us. But what I'm hearing, it's hardship now. What else needs to come out for the present? Yep, here comes this Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands, ooh, followed by the Six of Wands. So the Six of Wands is what we're not seeing. The Ten of Wands is what we are seeing. So you are seeing the entrapment. You're seeing the headaches. You're seeing how this is overworking you. It's overstimulating. It has what I'm hearing. It has the Aries in the story kind of wrecked. Because they don't know what to do. Do I go with the crowd? Do I go where I want to go? Where do I want to be? Kind of thing. Because Six of Wands is like a famous person and following the crowd. Here we have the Diamond. How do I get to my diamond? Do I get to my diamond going through these others? With these others? Do I get to my diamond on my own? That could be part of this love spell, the goggles, those love goggles that we have on. Loving to be in the mix with these others and achieving what goals do you want a team to achieve, a partnership to achieve, a family environment to achieve. What else needs to come out? Working really hard on your own. But then we have this High Priestess in reverse. Not feeling like you're getting anything back from it. Moon energy talks about like how we like to be nurtured, but also how people like to nurture us. High Priestess, she's well read up. She wants things balanced. This one wants to be surrounded by things, incorporating things into their pot that they're making that are of love. Having this surrounding of fortune here with stable foundations around us and above us. Being in tune to that higher calling. Understanding the balance between the good and the bad. And how we can balance our world with it. But we're not finding that here. We're not finding things that we can put into this pot that are going to be of love and light here and of compassion. It'd be something kind of, imagine mud, pouring mud into this pot. Ugh. We wouldn't have good fortune here. We would have thorny bushes right here, if anything. Because what I get is there's a sense of, you can't really put an Aries on eggshells because Aries aren't the type of personality to really walk on eggshells for others. They will walk through thorns, though, to get to where they need to go to complete their duty. So I would say it'd be like they're surrounded more by thorns. It's a harsher environment. But let's go ahead and get a clarity card for the High Priestess. What is the clarity card for the High Priestess here? Clarity card for the High Priestess. This has to do a little bit with those foundations, caution, how we're communicating, and how we're not feeling so nurtured. It's telling you it has to do with community. So this High Priestess energy expresses lack of exercise and overindulgence in food and drink, results in weight gain. Arguments and misunderstandings, confused feelings, friends turn their back on you, loss of social stature, feeling of loneliness and isolation, take care of yourself, think positively. All right, so with that being said, I don't know, is it a fear of leaving a community? Is it a fear of when you change or you create these positive changes to help yourself out, that this community will reject you? Or is it that you just have this really unsupportive community around you that you feel like? You feel like anytime you try and express something, it's met with arguments and misunderstanding, which will confuse feelings that you're having. That kind of puts a lot out there for Aries, doesn't it? Alright, let's see. This is going to be the last one. The Star. Confused on what they really want. How to invest in. How to even wish upon a shooting star. How that they can bring fulfillment in. Not only for themselves, but for the environment around them. Like I said, Aries are very hard workers. I never see an Aries who won't do the most to accomplish what they got to accomplish, what they need to get done, what is required, but a little bit more for their success. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the block here. What is it? What is it? What is it? Divine and universal energies. What is it that needs to come out for this block? Ooh, I have an Empress. She went from confused to a reverse position. For the block is you don't want to be clear on how these people in this environment, they don't feed you. They don't feed you with good juju, with good energy. This is not a picnic that is well protected from the elements. I would say this is a picnic that people dropped off a few things and now we got ants and flies and everything because we got too many people turning it up for themselves and themselves only. We don't have a community in here who is actively trying to help get things better. Aries, if you're the only one, then you definitely feel like you're rowing the boat while everyone else is sitting on their butts. All right, so what else needs to come out? Communication. You hold back. You hold back from how you're really feeling. How you're feeling like things aren't fair. How it's too much bubbly, too much stuff going on. And they're not focusing on the right things. We have a lot going on in this Seven of Cups picture. I have I have this sheep that's over here also really focused on the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups, I've heard people translate this many different ways, from it being like almost ghosts of past fulfillments to, hey, we're fulfilling ourselves really good and we have a lot of options. Whatever this is this person, place, or thing hasn't been fulfilling the Aries since the get-go. That's what I feel like. And it's not even an over-fulfillment. There is a very under-fulfillment here with whatever this situation is. But we don't know how to communicate that. We don't know how to have a transformation in the way that we communicate with others, but how we stand on it, in a sense. Like some people, Aries, you are this type of sign too. You will lash out when it's needed. You will, because you're a fire sign and you can get stubborn when you're finally upset with everybody. But the thing is, until somebody pushes you to that point, you really don't say much. Especially when things are upsetting you. And I feel like this is where you need to have that raw conversation with yourself. Yeah, here comes the High Priestess onto the Empress in reverse. We have two High Priestess in reverse. This is confirming that this community is no good for you. No good, no good, no good. Oh man, why? So, this community is no good. It's costing you where you actually want to be, the foundations that you want to be in, what you really want deep inside. It's costing you because there's no movement outside of this. There's no movement in wanting to get away from it and do what? Have this transformation through this relationship with these others. 8th house, transformation through relationships. Let's talk about Pluto energy, because that's also going to be here with this death card. It gets down to the nitty gritties here in life. It does. It gets down to the basics of life. And what this death card is telling me is the basics here for Aries in this story is, hey, you've worked really hard. You, solo dolo, have been working really hard in this one point, in this area of your life. It could be the career, it could be the family, it could be a hobby, but you've been working really, really, really hard. But you're not being met back with that same kind of energy if this has to do with others. If this is a solo adventure entrepreneur, then you're not being met back with that, with the people that you're networking with. And if you're not networking, that could be a hint towards something too. Because depending on where you're at, it could be word of mouth that helps really put you out there. But the thing is, you're presented with this exact situation is to figure out how you want things, people, places to treat you. After the honeymoon phase is over, the love goggles have came off, you're seeing that the potential isn't there. How can you open up to how you feel about that with yourself? Instead of not wanting to see that these people don't, this place, this whatever is not breaking bread with you. And they ain't really trying to show that it matters if you're there, if you're not. Don't forget your worth. Don't forget your worth, because we have the 8 of coins here in upright, but we also have the 8 of pentacles in reverse pretty much over here. So the block is that in these foundations, you're letting them kind of steal from you. In a sense, they're stealing your mojo, they're stealing your charisma, they're stealing your elixir of life, they're stealing your vitality. But it's not like they're coming in and like, let me siphon this from you. No, Aries, we have to give them permission to do that. Every day that you deal with whatever this is every day that you're giving permission for that to happen. Every day that you're not being truthful with yourself on where you want to be is every day you give permission for a little bit more of your vitality, your energy to be taken from you and given to whatever this is. When you align with things that are really good for you, things that are bringing in that same energy as what you're projecting, you're going to feel more energized. You're not going to feel like you're defeated when you walk out at the end of the day or when you're done dealing with whatever, whoever, wherever. But I get the sense that Aries, at the end of the day, at the end of the meeting, at the end of the gathering, is completely spent. They're spent. It's done. They're worn out. And that is no way for anybody to really live, to have healthy relationships. That's no way to have a healthy relationship with people, places, or things, because where does that leave you? Honestly, where does that leave you with you and yourself? If you're so spent at the end of dealing with whatever the situation is, how are you supposed to take care of yourself? How are you supposed to have the ambitions to not get fast food and to cook you a meal instead? Because remember, if you're so exhausted from whatever, you're not going to want to take care of yourself. If anything, you're going to want to kind of retract in a little bit more to try and grasp back or bring back any energy that you can before you have to deal with it again. Ooh, someone's overexpending their energy, overspending. Yeah. Oh, Aries, this is it. We talked about not wanting to have that transformation. Now we have this Tower card. This is just such pretty artwork in these cards. But this Tower card comes out in reverse. You don't want to put your foot down. You don't want to go against the grain. For some reason, there's no... I get wanting to admit defeat when it comes to this area. The defeat of it not coming out and working out to the full potential that you were hoping it would. That's a hard one. That's a hard one, because what we do is we beat ourselves up about it the whole time. We don't need to beat ourselves up about it. It wasn't meant to last forever. And the reason why I can tell you that is because I have the Death card here. And I have this Tower here. And I have your Star energy here. Whatever this was, it wasn't meant to be a long-lasting investment. What it could be is it could get you to your long-lasting investment. So how can you project what you really want if this isn't it? That's the question. Well, what do you mean? How can I project what I really want? Well, first you got to talk with yourself and see it. And then you got to not only see it, but start to believe it. And then you start making the moves to get there, projecting your energy in the directions that you need to go in. and not hesitating. A lot of people get caught up with hesitation. A lot of people get caught up when they're afraid something's going to fail. But can you really be satisfied 5 years from now with yourself if you never chased your dream? If you only chased whoever this King of Wands energy, person, place, or things dream? Because people will gladly, they will gladly let you help them chase their dreams. What is the dream that you have, Aries? What is it? So we're going to get moving on to the conclusion with the Universe Oracle. The great thing about the Universe Oracle is this brings it back to self. And into believing in a higher cause, into believing in ourselves and loving ourselves, because it starts with ourselves first. Once we can sit here and be within ourselves, then it's easier to go for the things that we want, to see the things that we want, to see the things that we deserve. But again, we got to be really at one with ourselves. So, angels, 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 spirit guides, what are the positive messages for this conclusion here? What is it? What needs to come out? This is beautiful. So to help you with this Tower, there's a stream of love supporting my dreams. Failures and all, it's all a part of the game. It's all a part of the book of life. It's all a part of how we can make ourselves stronger. It's all a part of us figuring out where we want to go, where we want to be. Because sometimes where we have been isn't meant for us for the future. Where we have been maybe could have given us the stepping stones to get us to where we're at now. And where we're at now, we need to discover if it is or if it isn't for us. And maybe it's in that discovery that we learn how to be really brutally honest with ourselves and what our dreams are. So what I have land on this spell and this communication and this Mercury retrograde is I surrender to a greater, I surrender to a power greater than me. Oh, you gotta come out of odds ends with that. Gotta come out with odds ends and be open to the flow of the higher power. Butterfly, a butterfly, they don't have a bunch of feathers so they can fly super fast, but they still have to navigate the air, right? They have to navigate those currents. They have to navigate not getting eaten, but they don't have anything really to defend themselves but their designs that are on them. What makes them uniquely them. Alright, something we're not seeing. We're at odds ends with Aries. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. What this is telling me is when you open up, when you talk to yourself, okay, life, you brought me here, you have me feeling this way. I've been seeing it from the dark side, this negative side, this side of resentment for so long. How can I see it on the side of light? How can I see it as I've been guided, divinely timed to be here? Why am I here? Why am I feeling what I'm feeling at this moment? What is it that I actually need? Alright, few more cards to come out. Ooh. I do whatever it takes to get closer to consciousness. That consciousness holds wisdom. That consciousness can help keep us grounded when everything feels so dark and empty. Helping us to get to that wisdom. Helping us to see in the dark when we're dealing with stuff that isn't ideal. Hope is the conduit for miracles. Oh, hope. If you say that you deserve this, where you're at, whatever the situation is, it will happily keep you. But if you dare to dream and have hope, then you open that door for more to blossom. Wow. See, one more card is needed for this Aries frequency. Wait. Yeah, just one more. We'll go one more. Lucky sevens. Lucky sevens here. What's that last card? Ooh, let's see. Last one. I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. This is what's going to help release the judgment that you have now. This is what's going to help you see where you can have a more stable foundations. That's what I get with that. This is going to create an open line to yourself that you're going to have with yourself. Being able to openly communicate with yourself what your wants, what your needs, what your boundaries are. That is how we protect ourselves. But this is how we also create standards, is by going through lessons like this right here. When you allow that transformation to happen, when you allow things to crumble, then it's up to you to figure out how you want to build. Do you want to build the same thing and get the same outcomes? Or do you want to build to a higher standard? Again, that always comes with experiences. You can't come out the chute having the best of the best of the best right away. I'm sure there's one person out there who would say, I can, but no. How do you know what flavor of ice cream you want if you haven't tried a bunch and figured it out? Oh yes, you can stick with vanilla. Always vanilla. But then you missed out. You missed out. Missed out on a whole bunch of other good flavors like that. What is it? Is it a sherbet, a Roman raspberry? Oh my gosh, I'm a sucker for one of those ones. Or even getting into some of those bad ice creams with the fudge, the caramel, little cookie bits and stuff. Or even with the ones that have the coffee in them. Oh my gosh, I love ice cream. But don't get stuck always thinking that you have to have the one thing, or the one thing is the only thing that's meant for you. I don't know, it's not hollering back like it is meant for you. It's not hollering back the way that you would want it to holler back at you. It's not supporting you in the way that you wish that you were supported. If anything, this has Aries holding themselves back to be in this situation, to be among this community, whether person, place, or thing. Persons, family, communities, places that we frequent, work, hobby places, etc., etc. So I have the White Light Oracle as a bonus message for Aries, because what? The divine loves you. And the divine would like to help your guides, your ancestors, the angels would like to reconfirm everything by using this deck. So what is the last reconfirming message here for the Aries frequency today? What is the last reconfirming message? When you have this honest conversation with yourself, try to avoid jumping to conclusions with things right away. Aries, you're very good at jumping at stuff and headed straight forward into things. When you have this brutal, honest conversation with yourself, don't just bring out the things that you feel like should be immediate. Bring out the things on how and why they mean the most to you. Alright, so we have one card here. Let's see. Vulva of Sidir. Alright, excuse me if I mispronounce that too. Opening up to that spiritual guidance. Number 30. Your inner spiritual being can heal circumstances in your life and our world in ways greater than you realize. Journey within to gain clarity and conscious redirection of your inner energies towards what you wish to manifest. Man! I love when they reconfirm like this. It's so beautiful. I'm going to get back to it. Thank you. Do not try to control what is happening. Instead, work to bring positive influence to bear so that you may contribute constructively towards shaping the outcome for the greatest good. It's really, really important to clean up that communication with yourself, what you want, what you're expecting, but also what is the reality of things, where our standards need to be, where do we want to build, how do we want to build, who do we want to build with, who we want to be there breaking bread with us, what kind of communities do we want to break bread with us, kind of things. All right, so Aries, thank you so much for your time, your energy. And most importantly, don't forget to thank your angels, ancestors, guides, as well as divine and universal energy for coming in and helping out with all the positive messages here. And thank you so much. And I hope you have a most wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.